Hey everyone, this is your girl Renia. You probably have seen me on Facebook at Be Bold and Beautiful with Renia Cosmetics, or maybe you found me on Instagram at Be Bold and Beautiful _ with Renia. So I'm super excited to be with you all today. As a vlogger, I have 3 things that I like to talk about. You're going to hear things or a theme of how to walk in your boldness and how you walk in boldness in your faith, how to move in boldness in your family, as well as boldness in how you perceive your beauty. And so today we're going to talk about bold beauty, and we're going to spend a little bit of time really a deep dive or diving in regards to your hair, like my hair. My hair is something that has been sort of the centerpiece of my beauty. And I can't even remember, but for years and years as a young girl, always going to the hair salon, my mom would take my sisters and I and herself, and we would go there for every couple of weeks and we would get our hair done. Or the moments that I was sitting in my mom's kitchen and she took out the pressing comb and she was pressing my hair out. And it's just always have been like the centerpiece of me as a woman, as a little girl, and being what they would say that the crown jewel of women, right? And so specifically for Black women, it's been sort of that thing too. Like, you have to have your hair done. It has to be looking good. What am I going to do with my hair? It's too nappy or it's too straight. I mean, it's always been sort of this thing that has been in my life for, I don't even know. I think back to when I was 16. I remember being at a restaurant with my mom and my sisters, and I was old enough to start working. I had been working, all my life, it feels like, whether it was a side gig, working with my uncle, or working at the cafeteria at the local elementary school. But this particular time, I was old enough to go out into the public and actually work at a restaurant. And I remember walking up to the manager and asking for an application. And my mom, as I was walking out, said something to me that has really shaped the imagery of who I believe I am, or even what we perceive to be, appropriate hair. And so she said to me, well, just make sure if you get the job or you go on an interview to not wear your braids. Like, take your braids out and then go on the interview. And I remember that really shaped kind of like how I thought about hair and how I thought about what that meant in terms of beauty for me as a young African American girl, and also growing up in my older years on what that looked like for my hair. I also can remember the time when I met my mother-in-law and many of my in-laws, and I remember the times where we were hanging out outside, and it was foggy outside, and I was just so concerned. I could not even consume myself of the beauty and the networking and the connections and the love that was there with my new family. And this was prior to us getting married, but just, really having that experience and just really breaking bread with some lovely people. And I could not even stop thinking about, oh my God, we're outside. I need to go inside because my hair is going to fluff up and it's going to be poofy and it's going to be big. And you guys are just not going to like me with my hair like this, right? And that's what I would tell myself. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it, but that's kind of what happened. And like, when I think about those times, it just kind of makes me cringe a little bit. But I know that I had to go through those things to get to a place to where I am today, where I love my hair and I love what I have decided and who I have become, and the confidence that comes from what I had to do in order to build that bold beauty. And it started with really making adjustments and loving who I was and who I am. So with that said, that's just a couple stories, but I know, like, if you're watching this and you can resonate with this, or any ideas of kind of what you've had to go through, like, drop a comment down below and let me know, like, when was that time where you were worried about your hair, or what did you do when maybe a family member or a friend or even people that you've gone to work with told you maybe something that made you feel a little bit less confident about maybe how you were wearing your hair. I remember when I went into a job and I wore my braids. So here I am, the 16-year-old. My mom told me not to do this, but I was, rebellious. And I was like, I'm going to prove to you that I can do anything. I can wear my braids. Although I still had this internal battle with the fact that I'm going to go on an interview and wear these braids. And I had to really spruce myself up so I can sort of build the confidence that I needed to go into the interviews with braids. Crazy. But I remember having braids and wearing them all the time because it was just easy. I didn't have to worry about trying to, get up and do my hair. And I went into the office one day without braids. I took the braids out. I got my hair done like I've always done because I always kind of go back and forth, braids, no braids, and so forth. And I walked into the office one day and a lady said, "Oh my goodness, I love your hair. It's so professional looking." And that also put something in my head. And although I don't think she had bad intentions, but it also planted a seed in me that I don't think was necessarily what I needed to hear. And it wasn't positive reinforcement for me. I mean, thankfully, my hair was pretty. Like, I loved my hair when it was straight. I loved my hair when I had braids, but it's not like somebody told me that when I wore braids. So it's been kind of like an ongoing thing when you think about your hair. Also, when you think about like growing up, I remember, terms like your hair needs to be straight, or you have, nappy hair. Over time, we started using terms like coarse hair, which it is coarse hair, right? Curly hair, coarse hair. And, let's straighten that hair. Let's get it straight. And so if you think about like years ago, we're talking about centuries ago, right? Where, there were no resources to straighten your hair. You just wore your hair coarse, you wore your hair curly, you wore your hair nappy, and I'm okay with my nappy hair. And that was okay. And then all of a sudden, when it became, we no longer could wear our own hairs, when we were more present in public and we were now in the workforce and we weren't slaves anymore. And so we had to change ourselves so that we can present ourselves differently. And so, I mean, obviously I didn't go through that, but it's in terms of the history of why, Black women really struggled through, can I just be who I am? Can I just wear my own natural hair? Like, what's up with that? And then this wonderful lady, Madam CJ Walker, she invented a pressing comb, and it was like God's gift to the world, right? And that allowed for people to straighten their hair. And then other inventions came out with relaxers and perms. And unlike other people who did not have coarse hair where it would make your hair curly, for Black people, it would make your hair straight. And so this was like a crazy new invention because it allowed people to wear more straight hair. Well, let's fast forward. I get into corporate America. I'm living my life. I'm not wearing my hair natural. If I wore it natural, it was just when I had braids in my hair because that was the way to get away from the stress and the anxiety that I would feel when I wake up in the morning and like, what am I going to do with my hair to get ready for work or to get ready for an event or whatever. So braids was just my safe zone, and it made me feel beautiful. And I have built up enough confidence to embrace the braids regardless of where I was. So I just did braids, like get it going and just wear braids. Well, let's fast forward even further than that. I get married to my wonderful husband that I love dearly, and we have beautiful kids. And then I have a daughter, and my daughter is gorgeous. She is so beautiful. I'll show you guys a picture of both my kids and their curly hair. You'll just see their hair, and they have gorgeous hair. But yet, here's my daughter at the wonderful age of 3 years old, and she reminded me of how I felt when I could not, or how I was feeling, to be honest with you, of not being able to wear my natural hair. And she said she wanted her hair straight. She said she wanted her hair like Elsa. She wanted her hair to be long down her back, and she did not like her curls. I mean, a 3-year-old little girl saying she did not like her curls. I about fell out. I was like, oh, to the no, to the no. We cannot do this. So I want to say within, like, after hearing that over time, and you try to really help her with that by showing her images of other little girls who have really pretty curly hair, and so that she can relate and understand. And then it became very clear that she needed to understand and relate with somebody she knew, and who's the best person that can be a great role model for her, not only in all other aspects of life, but in this life of how she cared or she viewed herself, especially when it comes to her hair. What other way can her mom help? And that was to really take a stance and make some adjustments and deal with my own insecurities so that I can be what she needed, so she can walk in her boldness and her bold beauty with all of what God gave her, because she is wonderfully and she is fearfully and wonderfully made. And I had to figure that out for myself so I can help her figure it out for herself. And that's what I did. I remember walking into the shop, telling my hair salon, my hair beauty consultant, and letting her know that I am going to go natural. I don't know how this works, but right now I'm just gonna just do it. Like, just wash my hair and just kind of twist it for me, and then put me under the dryer. And then that's kind of what I did. I started off with that. And I remember going to different places, even at work, and people would say things like, oh, your hair is so fun. That's so fun. And I wasn't like really looking to have fun hair, to be honest with you. But that's what people would tell me. And I would kind of just like smile at, oh, thank you very much, knowing inside of me, this was a tough decision to decide that I wasn't going to go for my straight hair and getting my hair done every couple weeks. And really, I would go through the airport, and I would have my pressing comb. I would have my stove, like this little travel stove for your pressing comb and your flat irons. I would have my hairspray. I would have the whole gambit in my bag, to where the TSA at the airport would stop me every time, and they would be like, well, what is this? And they would open my bag up, and they would look, and they would be going over to each other, and they would carry this stuff around, and they would be saying, what is this? And I would have to explain to them about, black girl magic and all that good stuff, and what this actually provided. And so it was kind of fun to be able to do that, because it was a good education part. But that was how serious it was, to make sure that when I woke up that next morning to get ready for work, that my hair was straight and it was popping. And that was important to me. So for me to take this whole turn to this natural world was very, very difficult. So I did that. I started wearing my hair what I would consider natural at the time. I wouldn't do what I did before, but that was the first step. And it was the first step so that I can get closer to somebody that my daughter could model, that can use as a model, that she can see that her mom wasn't overly consumed with having straight hair and always overly consumed about hair equals beauty. And we know that that's not necessarily true. It's like India Arie has a song, I am not your hair, I am not my hair. I love that song. And if you haven't heard it before, go check it out. It's a really, really good song. And it has some very, very affirmative words and things that she's sharing that I think, had I just really embraced those words and internalized that a little bit more, I could have gotten through this transition much quicker. So with that said, I went through that transition. I found a wonderful natural hairstylist who also introduced me to some braids that made your hair look a little bit more natural. So it helped me as I was transitioning to have a different style that wasn't necessarily my hair that I had to deal with every day, and listen to the terms that I'm using that I had to deal with every day. And that's what I would say to myself, like, this is too much drama, like this is hard, like dealing with my own hair is hard, and it's always just very difficult. And those terms you start to internalize and make yourself believe that you have really bad hair, you have tough hair, that you can't get, like, come on. And I'm talking like this because these are things that I have to deal with, that I had to deal with, and I still struggle through them because it's been embedded in me for so long. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, how do I change the language that I'm using that can be more affirmative about my hair, that's not negative? Like, your hair is beautiful. Your hair was made. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And those curls that you have, you can rock those curls and feel bold in rocking those curls. And so I had to learn through that. So anyway, I found a lady who did the braids, and she helped me kind of transition even in that, because the braids were more of a natural hairstyle. And so that had become sort of my image for a while, for a few years, a couple of years. And I really did like the braids, and then I would take the braids out and I would kind of wear my own hair, or maybe every now and then I would straighten, because I think one of the things that a misconception is, you go natural, or you want to not have your hair straight, then you can't wear your hair straight anymore. And that's a misconception. Like, you can decide how you want your hair to be. And I think that that's what I'm trying to share, is that, if you love your hair straight, great. Just, I want to share that you don't have to love your hair straight only because you believe that's the only thing that's going to help you be beautiful, feel beautiful. Your hair curly, you can also be beautiful. So I hope that makes sense. But with that said, the next thing that I did is I went through the natural, the braids and everything. And I recently, I want to say 6 months ago, I had went to an event and we were talking about like short hair, and I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this short haircut kind of thing. I'm not sure. Like, my face ain't right for that. And I was talking to one of my mom's friends, and she said, you should try it, or maybe like get a short wig and you should try it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go check it out. I'll go try like a short wig or something. So I went to one of my friends' beauty supply store when I was in Compton. And she put on all these different wigs on me. I'll have to show you guys a picture. So look for the picture at the end of this, and you'll see the picture that started off with this, like, Renia can wear short hair. And it's a wig. It's multiple wigs, and it's like horrific. But it's like the funniest thing. But it gave me another like next step to, I'm okay and I can have short hair. Like, people were giving me compliments like, oh, I like this haircut. I didn't like any of them, but it gave me a sense of like, I can do this. I can see myself in a mirror with short hair. And so that's what I did. And I said I was going to buy a wig that I can find. Well, again, Renia, the stubborn girl, the like challenging everything. I went home, and within a week, I had gone to this hair salon, and I asked the lady to cut my hair. I said, cut it off. I want it all gone. And I want this look. And it was short. Like, I mean, it's like short right here. And she said, you sure? And I said, I'm ready. And she cut it off within a week. I had short hair. And I remember looking in the mirror going like, what did I do? Like, I am like crazy. What did I do? And my husband was so awesome. He complimented me, and he made me feel good and made me feel comfortable. And but it definitely was a roller coaster ride mentally. And I had to get out of my head with the fact that my hair was short. And I also had my natural hair. It wasn't like permed. It wasn't straightened. It wasn't nothing. It was just my hair. It was my hair and my face. So it definitely was a learning curve for me. And so I started learning like different products. I was trying to figure out products. And I remember calling my aunt, and she said, you need to talk to a kinkologist. And she is also a kinkologist in California, where it's a group of ladies, or a group of hairstylists that understand people's curl patterns and understand the products that will help to bring your curls back. Because when you start straightening your hair and putting all these chemicals in it, your curls are you just made your curls like the worst, right? So she started talking to me, and she started saying, you need to do this step and this. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a whole lot of work, but I'm so thankful that she did give me those steps, and she helped me along the way. And then I found a local kinkologist located here where I live, and she also has been helping me so I can love my curls and live through the changes and embrace and be bold and walk in all of this beauty. all of this beauty. And so today I sit with you today after have gone through a cut, color, another cut, because my first cut, I don't think it was like shaped as well. And then I have this new, like, I don't want to say new cut, but just like reformed cut, and embracing all of my curls. And I'm also embracing my gray. Like, you see my gray right here? I don't know if I'm going to embrace that too long, to be honest with you, because I don't want my gray to be out like that. So I am going to get it colored again. I'm totally okay like with having the gray pop in, but I do like my hair color, and I do want it a little bit lighter on the ends of the hair. So the kinkologist that I found, she'll be able to do that for me, and I'm super excited. It'll probably happen in a couple weeks, and you'll see a video where I have like more colored lightened hair. And I've always had like darker hair or red, but I have so much gray hair now, and I've been trying to cover it up a little bit, and I just like red, like reddish kind of hair. That's kind of like my thing. So I sit here with you to tell you, like, in terms of the journey, if you are thinking about cutting your hair or wearing your hair natural, just go for it. Just jump into it. You may, have a transitional period where maybe you cut it and you put braids in it for a little bit and then you go back. Talk to your hairstylist, go find a kinkologist. You can type in kinkologist online, Google that, and you'll find somebody local within your location. I will, in the comments down below as well, I will also put a couple Instagram pages that you will find helpful for you as you transition. So it's really, really cool. I mean, there's a lot of different products that can work or not work. I found products that will work, and really, I'm thankful that the products that I found are like the first products that I used. Like, I didn't have to go and search and search and search and search. But granted, I also have a kinkologist that's helping me, and then I also have my aunt who's a kinkologist who's been like, "Don't do that. Don't put something over your head." Like, she's really been coaching me on what to do. So why did I cut my hair? Why did I do this? I did this because it was important for my daughter to see and have a model of somebody who can not only cut their hair and wear their natural hair, but embrace themselves. And that had to be me. It could not have been anyone else. It had to be me. And now my daughter, at almost 9 years old, and over the last several years, she has been, I love my curls. She has not had the desire to straighten her hair. Yes, I straighten her hair every now and then, but it's not like I hate my curls. I need it straight. It's more like, oh, I like to do something different. And that's okay to want to do something different and, have a different look. That's okay. But what I wanted her to do is embrace who she is, how God brought her into this world without any other modifications, and love that. And that is where she is today. And so, was this journey worth it? Absolutely worth it. It was absolutely worth it, not only for her, but it's also helped me to be a better version of myself. And so this vlogs that I've been doing has been all about that. It's like, how do you walk in bold faith? I took a bold faith step to do this, to cut this hair off and really walk into my boldness. How do you, walk in, be in moves in your bold family? And this was totally about our family. It's about the legacy as well, because I got to teach her how to love herself so that she can continue to build that legacy when she has kids, and when she's, a woman, how she's going to have to really embrace herself so that she could confidently walk into the workplace, into a boardroom, and she can confidently walk into wherever she's going and feel confident and love herself, because she can't love someone else until she loves herself. And then the last is, how do you become or walk in your bold beauty? And this is all about bold beauty and making sure that you can love yourself and feel beautiful wherever you are in whatever phase of life you're in. And I'm talking to you, lovely women out there. Embrace your beauty. You are beautiful. Love yourself. And don't allow things like, oh my God, my hair or whatever is going on to tear you down, because it's not, it really is not the center of your world. It's not. And I've learned that through this process. So I hope this was helpful for you. It gives you confidence knowing that you can do this too. I will drop comments down below so that you can have information about different products as well as where I found my kinkologists. I will also share some pictures at the end of this of some of the products that I use that maybe you want to try out. And then if you have any questions, go ahead and put a comment down below. Or if you have products that have been working really, really well for you, I want you to tell us what products you're using because I'd love to try them out. All right, I'll talk to you all later. If you have not already, make sure that you subscribe, and share with your friends. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you all soon. Bye.